let's try and Google and see what does impulse mean. Okay, for English, impulse means by a sudden, strong and unreflective urge to desire to act. So you might heard of the word impulsive buying before. So you buy something without thinking much about the consequences. You just buy because you suddenly want it. Okay, so impulse, what I want to highlight here is that impulse can, when you think of impulse, you should think of the word sudden. Okay, so we use the word impulse, right, because we can probably deduce that momentum and impulse, right, will be used to analyze events that are sudden. Okay, that's why they use the word impulse. Okay, so I believe you have learned from your secondary school or probably from your first year of your matriculation that when we talk about momentum, when we talk about impulse, it's usually used in situations involving collisions or explosions. So these kind of events, right, collisions, explosions, they usually happen within a short amount of time. Let's say when the ball comes, it hits the ball and the ball moves away. So the moment where it hits, that moment is the event, okay, where it starts to contact and after that it breaks contact. That short moment of time is where the event happens. So we are usually using impulse to analyze this kind of event that happens very suddenly. Okay, so why do we use impulse and momentum to analyze events that are sudden? Well, let's try to know a bit better about what is a sudden event. Okay, so here I'm going to give you three examples of sudden event. First one is a white snooker ball hitting a snooker balls. Okay, so let's call this white ball here as ball A, whereas this yellow ball here as ball B. So initially, when the cue hits the white ball will be moving towards ball B, whereas ball B will remain stationary. Okay, so ball B was initially at rest. Okay, ball B was initially at rest. Then when ball A start to hit ball B, when they start to be in contact with ball B, what happens is ball B will accelerate. Initially it was at rest, but after ball A start to touch ball B will accelerate while it is in contact with ball A. Okay, at some point in the future, ball B will leave ball A. Okay, starting ball A touch ball B, then it stays in contact with ball B while ball B accelerates. Then afterwards, at some point in the future, ball A will break away from ball B will break away from ball A. So they lose contact already. Then ball B will continue to move with a new velocity. So ball B will be moving at velocity v. Okay, initially there was a velocity to ball B which is 0. At the end of this event, the ball B will be moving at another new velocity which is v. Okay, so the event that we are saying just now, we always call it the event. The event is the process in which the ball A starts to touch ball B until ball B breaks away from ball A. Okay, the short moment of contact is where we are interested in, the event that we are interested in. Okay, the next example will be a baseball coming towards the bat and the bat hitting the baseball. Okay, so our object of interest here is the baseball over here. So initially the baseball is coming with a negative velocity because it's moving towards the left, coming towards the left. So initially the ball is moving with a negative velocity, but once the baseball bat starts to be in contact with the ball, then the ball undergo a change in velocity from moving to the left. You undergo a change in velocity to be moving to the right. So the ball is changing velocity until the point where the baseball bat breaks away from the ball. Okay, although you can say the ball breaks away from the baseball bat, there is a stop of the event. Then now the ball will be moving with a new velocity in a new direction, which is to the right. Right now the final velocity will be positive. Okay, so our object of interest, the ball, initially is moving to the left with a certain velocity. After the sudden event, it is moving with a new velocity to the right. And the event that we are talking about is the moment where the baseball bat and the ball comes into contact until the moment where the ball breaks away from contact with the baseball bat. The contact is the event. Okay, last example is an explosion, which is when you fire a pistol. So our object of interest is the bullet inside the pistol. Initially, the bullet was at rest inside the barrel of the pistol. But once you fire the pistol, the explosion will be in contact with the bullet. I can say the gush of air is in contact with the bullet inside the barrel of the pistol. Then the pistol accelerates until it gets out from the gun barrel. Once it gets out from the gun barrel, then it's no longer in contact with the air gushing out from the pistol. Then now the bullet will be moving at a new velocity, which is v. Okay, our object of interest initially was at rest. At the end of the event, it's moving with the velocity v. What is the event? The event is the period in which the air is pushing the bullet out from the barrel. So that contact moment is the moment where we call the sudden events. Okay, so when we talk about events, we are talking events that start when they start in contact and when they break away the contact. So this short moment of time is why we call it a sudden event, because it happens within a very short amount of time. Okay, so this is the during. We know that before there's an initial velocity, after there's a final velocity. But during, there's a contact that happens for the certain short amount of time. This is what we call as sudden events. Okay, next we'll be looking at why this sudden event it's different, that we need to analyze using momentum and impulse.